This is QTV News. I am Ansumana Isonyasi and thanks for joining us. Coming up, President Adama Barrow's 3-year mandate extended, says coalition chairperson and former Vice President Fatmala Jallow Tambajang. A recent fire outbreak in Talinding has rendered victims homeless. New students trained on tips for better grades and integration in the UTG. And World Rabies Day commemorated. Stay tuned as we bring you more on this and other stories. The 3-year agreement of the Coalition 2016 has been extended to 5 years by some coalition stakeholders, who yesterday gave their approval to Adama Barrow to complete his 5-year constitutional mandate, citing that the president's reform agenda is incomplete and needs more time. 2 other Coalition 2016 party members were conspicuously absent. QTV sought their reactions. Mahmoud Lamin Choi reports.
A delegation of Coalition 2016 stakeholders had an audience with President Adama Barrow last Friday at the State House, which, according to Fatmala Jallow Tambajang, who led the delegation, was to discuss how to strengthen the coalition and support the president's government. The delegation have decided to amend the 3-year coalition agreement to allow President Adama Barrow to serve as president till 2021.
On the basis of the incompletion of the reform agenda, we have decided as a coalition to extend his social legitimacy from 3 years to 5 years. So that's why I say today is historic. This is something that the whole world should hear.
Fatmala Jallow Tambajang referenced the coalition's 2016 controversial Memorandum of Understanding and placed more prominence on the agreement and manifesto, arguing that an MOU cannot make a head of state.
The Memorandum of Understanding is important, but the fundamentals are the agreement which was signed by all parties. And the agreement with the manifesto is the reform agenda.
The United Democratic Party and the People's Democratic Organization for Independence and Socialism were not at the meeting. The United Democratic Party, through which Adama Barrow won the coalition standard-bearer position, described the meeting as insignificant, as they were neither invited nor consulted.
It is a very insignificant minority, and therefore to go and speak on behalf of a coalition that was formed in 2016, and you have UDP absent, you have PDOIS absent. I think all Gambians know that this is something that is not important or relevant to their consideration of the political questions that are engaging all Gambians.
The People's Democratic Organization for Independence and Socialism were contacted for comments, but promised to react to the development after they have received an official statement from the meeting. The decision by these stakeholders to support President Barrow's constitutional mandate came at a point when there are demands from some members of the public for him to step down next December. President Barrow has publicly stated his desire to go beyond the 3-year agreement, even before these coalition partners gave him the green light for an extension to 5 years. Fatmala Jallow Tambajang, the chairperson of the Coalition 2016, clarified whether President Adama Barrow had requested them to support his 5-year constitutional mandate and reform agenda. The decision, she said, is based on their own principles.
One point of clarification for the social media. We have not decided to extend His Excellency's mandate because he asked for it. We are not extending it because the coalition so feels it. We are extending it from the point of principle that we had made commitments and obligations campaign that this is what we are going to deliver to the Gambian people.
With less than 3 months to the expiration of the 3-year coalition agreement, and with tension seemingly brewing and threatening to erupt next December, perhaps this will be a solution to prevent planned protests for President Barrow to stand down. Mahmoud Lamin Choi for QTV News.
A recent fire outbreak in Talinding has left one compound destroyed and rendered victims homeless. Ajifatumbu tells us more.
The unfortunate incident ravaged the household and destroyed items belonging to the Haidara family. Ibrahim Haidara, a disabled person and one of the victims of the fire, told QTV that the fire was started by one of their kids in the room.
I could not stop it because my legs are disabled. This is unfortunate. We lost everything.
While the affected family struggles to come to terms with the destruction caused, they have been consoled by their neighbors. Kasamanding, a neighbor, says the entire neighborhood is devastated by the fire outbreak and, on behalf of the Haidara family, appeals for support from the government and any kind-hearted person.
As soon as I heard the screams, I ran out and saw a huge cloud of smoke. This is a sad moment for us. He is a good neighbor, and this is an unfortunate incident. We are appealing to the government and philanthropists to come to his aid.
Fatoumata Haidara, who was away at the time of the incident, is grateful that her husband survived the fire.
I was devastated when I got here. I feared for my husband's life, and that was the reason why I first asked of him. When I came to the house, even though we lost everything, I am grateful there was no casualty.
While the extent of damage is being assessed, the Haidara family is open to any kind of aid. Ajifatu Bintumbu, reporting for QTV News.
The Executive Council of the University of the Gambia Students' Union on Saturday held a one-day training course for new students on the theme Tips for Better Grades and Integration in the UTG. QTV's Aloysius spoke to the organizers, and here's an excerpt.
So this importance of the training will give them a sense of direction, because we believe in the University of the Gambia you will face a lot of challenges when it comes to registration with your courses, when it comes to selecting your courses. So certain students, they do not have a sense of direction. So as university students, we thought it necessary to say, okay, let us help the students, because since we are here before and we know the challenges we face in the university, so we say we come together, we help them so that they can have a sense of direction. I will not say they will not face challenges, but their challenges will be limited compared to us once they know the reason why they are here, how to go about in doing their courses. So all these are tips that would help them, and also how to manage their stress when it comes to the university. I will advise the students is let them seize this opportunity, because they always say the best knowledge is a knowledge that is shared. If you have something in your head, I believe as a person, as a human, you should share. Because when you share, the challenge you face, you are helping other people not to face that same challenge.
The fact is, the university is not high school. It is a tertiary education. Why do we call it a tertiary education? Why is it a higher learning institute? Because one thing is that you are expected to do most of the things in the university on your own. You are expected to do half of the learning on your own. It's not something that you depend on the lecturer 100%, but you do the bulk of the work on your own. And today's session is to bring to you the possibilities and the way front into making this a possibility. If you go through the program guide, you find out that this session is to help you on how to get better grades, on how to adapt to the university life. It is not an easy task, but yet I believe as we are humans, most of our basic characteristic is adaptation. We learn to adapt, to adjust to every scenario we've actually placed ourselves in. And I believe university life is no exception. We can solely adapt and do even better than high school.
And from that report by Aloysius, we take a short commercial break, but the news continues when we return.
Why wouldn't you? When you get to enjoy your massive 50% reduction on your pay-as-you-go data tariff. You know you get to enjoy such amazing discounts with QCell's fantastic network. Enjoy our reduced pay-as-you-go data tariff every day from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. No subscription, no validity period. Simply recharge your account and off you go. QCell, the Gambia's quality network.
Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
To build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With a touch of your fingers,
With ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Agriculture and the Department of Livestock Services is commemorating World Rabies Day. Ajibintu Drame tells us more.
The event was marked by the launching of a free vaccination campaign and the launching of a new rabies diagnostic unit in the Central Veterinary Laboratory at Abuko. This year's theme is Vaccinate to Eliminate, which aims to achieve 0 human deaths from dog-transmitted rabies by 2030. Momodumbai Jabang, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Agriculture, estimated that about 59 human deaths occurred globally due to rabies, and Gambia is no exception.
Most of those who die are children from rural areas all over the world, including the Gambia. More than 95% of human cases of rabies is due to a bite from an infected dog. Nonetheless, this disease is 100% preventable, and dog bites from infected dogs is responsible for almost all of it.
Previously, there was no lab or hospital to treat rabies in the Gambia, and those affected were referred to Senegal for treatment. The Permanent Secretary further states that there will be an awareness campaign to save lives. However, he urges people with pets or domestic animals to take responsibility and full ownership for the welfare of their animals in order to prevent rabies.
We are urging all residences in the Gambia to demonstrate responsible dog ownership and cater for the welfare of their pets and reduce their role of contributing to the menace of stray dog population in the country.
He thanked partners and urged NGOs and philanthropists to invest in the fight against rabies in the Gambia. Kausu Sanyang, a lab technician, explains the procedures taken to treat animals infected with rabies.
The most important thing is once you pick the rabies, a rabid dog, if an animal is infected with rabies, any other animal, since the disease is across all mammals. So any animal that is affected by rabies, then within the gold standard, that is the the direct fluorescent antibody test. So the target is the brain. You take a brain sample first, a brain tissue, and the part of the brain is the brain stem that is the most important part of the sample that you have to take. So after dog opening, you pick the brain smear, then you bring it to the laboratory, and you do the direct fluorescent antibody test, which is a gold standard technique recommended by the OIE. So after the staining process, then you go into the observation stage by using not all types of microscopes, but specifically a fluorescent microscope, which is the recommended microscope for rabies diagnosis.
Dr. Usman Sise, the Deputy Director of Veterinary Services and Animal Health, says the demand for the vaccination is on the rise, and the vaccination campaign will roll out across the country.
But then on a day-to-day basis, every day, people come with their animals or they call, we go out and meet them and vaccinate their dogs for them. Previously, we have vaccines from the World Organization for Animal Health, OIE, that were provided to the country, over 2,500 doses. We have used all that. And then the government of the Gambia is now annually buying this vaccine and then making it available for the Gambians to vaccinate their dogs for free.
Dr. Sise added that the health department encourages people to bring their dogs to be neutered to prevent them from producing offsprings. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
While Taekwondo on Saturday conducted a blood donation session at the Kanifing Hospital geared toward helping needy patients. Mamjara ACC reports.
The donation hopes to save the lives of patients, especially those in labor wards. Like in many hospitals in the country, Kanifing Hospital is also faced with inadequate blood supply. As such, officials extol the efforts of WOW Taekwondo. Highlighting the importance of donating blood, Babukar Babu, head of the lab at Kanifing Hospital, expressed his delight at WOW Taekwondo for donating blood to the hospital. However, he adds that the number of blood donors volunteers is very small.
It has a very big impact because if you go to the maternity unit now, you may see a lady who comes to deliver. Maybe he cannot deliver normally. They might decide to take her to the theater. She might need 3 or 4 pints of blood. And the escorts are always these old women who cannot even donate nothing. So when you tell them to go and bring their relatives, they always tell you we come from a very far area. So we always struggle to get blood for them.
While explaining the challenges they face, Hospital Administrator Babukar Sen urged young people to donate blood to save lives.
Sometimes we have problems when you are faced with a patient needing blood. To secure the right pint of blood could be a problem. So these people coming to donate will help us to ensure that patients that are currently admitted or those who will come later on will have blood. As an institution, we have developed an action plan to work with associations like WAM Gambia and other youth organizations and also the security forces to ensure that our blood bank always have blood available. Every young Gambian should be proud of being a blood donor. So this is something that we want to send out to the public out there.
The WOW Taekwondo is known as a sport and martial arts organization. Baba Star, president of WOW Taekwondo Gambia chapter, explains why they choose to donate blood.
I organized this program because basically, my focus was to help the ladies at labor. Normally when they gave birth, they lose a lot of blood, and then they need blood to replace blood. You cannot buy any other form of tablet or medicine to replace blood. So all that we can do now is to try to create this, sensitization and mobilize people to understand the need, for donating blood.
Speaking to journalists, Ruth Ajola Carroll, the Deputy Director of Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation, says her institution is proud to be associated with blood donation exercise. She also gave the assurance that her institution is prepared to support such gestures, saying one never knows the importance of donating blood until you need it. Salimatu Bangura, a donor, urged other women to donate blood. The blood that is donated is tested before use to screen out any that might be infected with incommunicable diseases. Reporting for QTV News, I am Mamjara ACC.
And before we end this bulletin of the news, here's a recap of our main stories. The 3-year agreement of the Coalition 2016 has been extended to 5 years by some coalition stakeholders who yesterday gave their approval to President Adama Barrow to complete his 5-year constitutional mandate, citing that the president's reform agenda is incomplete and needs more time. 2 other Coalition 2016 party members, UDP and PDOIS, were conspicuously absent. A recent fire outbreak in Talending has left 1 compound destroyed and rendered victims homeless. The Executive Council of the University of the Gambia Students' Union on Saturday held a 1-day training course for new students on the theme Tips for Better Grades and Integration in the UTG. And the Ministry of Agriculture and the Department of Livestock Services is commemorating World Rabies Day. That brings us to the end of this edition of the news. Join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.